So we discussed the last verse last week was, and because you're submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. So we are hearing a very important principle, that how to receive spiritual knowledge. By being submissive to the spiritual master, one becomes extremely fortunate and one is able to receive that spiritual knowledge from that person. We talked about Ramachandra Khan and Ishwara Puri, who are both disciples of Madhavendra Puri, but Ishwara Puri was blessed that he would see God face to face, and he became the guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Madhavendra Puri, he was offended by Ramachandra Khan. So Ramachandra Khan spent the rest of his life offending devotees. And even though he had access to the most fortunate situation, he made those situations unfortunate by his nature of being rebellious. So one can become very fortunate by submissively approaching a spiritual master, a guru, who's in a disciplic succession, who's bona fide, and by that association, one can derive all the knowledge. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did not write too many things, and the things he wrote down, he anyway threw them away, hit the Ganga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's only writing is Shikshashtakam, the 8 slokas. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all his knowledge, the deep secrets of Radha Krishna's love, to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. And Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami wrote simplified books like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Upadeshamrita, and others, through which they have made these very complex structures of divine love very easily accessible to us. Something that even the demigods can't access, we have access to, thanks to Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. And why so? Because they were extremely submissive and surrendered at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's the way of receiving guidance from our Guru Shishya Parampara, right? So that is what's being glorified about Sutta Goswami. Okay. Let me just see. Aparna, are you in a physical state to... Oh.
Hare Krishna.
I know you're sick, so are you going to be able to read it, or should I read it?
I will try. Maybe my voice will be a little bit, I'll be a little bit like not that loud, if that is
That's
okay.
fine. This is good enough. We can all hear you. Please read.
Okay.
1.1.9.
Hare Krishna. Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 1.9. Tatra tatranjasa yushman bhavata yad vinishchitam pumshami kantata shreyash tanna samsitum arhasi. Translation. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general.
Yeah. I think that's self-explanatory. I don't have to dig too much into this. So we can go to the next verse, 1.1.10.
1.1.10. Prayenalpayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadrutaha. Translation. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed.
So these are the characteristics of Kali Yuga. Prayena alpa ayusha sabhya. Prayena alpa ayusha. So alpa means less. So alpa ayu, they live short lives. Kalau asmin yuge janaha in Kali Yuga. Manda sumanda mateo. Manda means bad. Sumanda means very bad. Right? So very unfortunate. Very, very unlucky. Manda sumanda mateo. Manda bhagya. Very unlucky, very unfortunate. Like 3 times manda has been used. So this is this is always upadrataha, always disturbed. You see people on the public transportation, people walking on the street, people in the office. People don't have smile on their faces. They're always right, always, because they're disturbed. Something is bothering them. People have depression, people have anxiety, people have difficulties with their spouses, difficulties with their bosses, always quarrelsome, small things, and they want to fight. Just a couple of days ago, Nirmala Sitharaman came, finance minister of India. She was here in Kolkata, and we went to meet with her and all. And there was a small situation where, something that was supposed to be in our plan kind of happened, didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. And I found myself extremely agitated. And, one of my friends who was with me, I just raised my voice. And within 2 minutes, I was done. As soon as I expressed my anger and frustration, he has never seen me like this. So he felt, whoa, I must have really offended him. I said, hey, look, I was frustrated. I kind of yelled at you, and I'm done. I'm moving on. And he was going on explaining himself. I said, look, you don't need to explain yourself. Moving on. I am done. I expressed my anger, and it took me 2 minutes to kind of release the pressure, and I'm good. And I had to really convince him that I was good. So point is, knowing these things, in Kali Yuga, we are susceptible to quarrel. We are susceptible to unfortunate situations, unfortunate activities, manda sumanda mateo, right? Having said that, the knowledge, the fact that, oh, Kali Yuga is acting upon me, let me not fall prey to Kali Yuga, brings you out, right? So the knowledge, naturally we are prone to be influenced by Kali Yuga. But the knowledge of knowing that this is how it's supposed to be kind of helps us out. So for example, we are going to Cherrapunji. Cherrapunji is the place where we have the highest rainfall in the entire world. Now, obviously, knowing that, we should carry an umbrella, right? Now, without any intimation, boom, there's going to be rainfall, and that is expected. So when the rain falls, we get a little drenched. By the time we open the umbrella, we are going to get a little drenched. But we know that it is the world's highest rainfall activity. So we carry an umbrella whenever we go to Cherrapunji. Same way, when we know Kali Yuga is supposed to be this way, short life, quarrelsome, always disturbed, unfortunate, then we know we should carry an umbrella, the umbrella of Krishna consciousness. And whenever we find ourselves getting a little drenched, we take out our umbrella and turn it on. So knowing that we are in Kali Yuga is helpful. And in Kali Yuga, we need all the help we can get from those who are unaffected by the Kali Yuga syndrome. That is the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. Go ahead, Aparna. If you can. If you're feeling pain, please don't read.
No, that's fine. I'm feeling good reading this.
It's pure.
1.1. Yes, definitely purifying. 1.1.11. Bruni, Bruni, Karmani, Srutam Yani Vibhakasah, Atan Sadhu Trayat Jaram Samudhartyamane Saya. Bruhi Bhadraya Bhutanam Yenatma Suprasidati. Translation. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction their hearts may be fully satisfied.
Okay. So there are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties. If you look at the Vedic literature, it's filled with do this and you get this. Worship sun god, you get health. Worship Lord Shiva, you get a good husband. Worship this demigod, that demigod, you get this. So it's filled with like, oh, so many things to do from Monday to Sunday. Every day there is some demigod, you can do some kind of puja and you get something out of it. And it gets very, very tiring. Like, who do I worship? Who will listen to me? I'm going like a dog begging here to there, right? And that's where Srimad Bhagavatam comes in. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That God is one. Vasudeva, son of Vasudeva and Devaki. That's Lord Krishna. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings. The essence of milk is ghee, right? So intelligence is to understand the essence of things. So when we have a massive, book, and you don't want to read the whole book, but you want the essence of it, right? So that's where in shorts and small. So big books have like small summaries. So we read the summary, we understand the main points and the main essence out of it. So there are the scriptures are unlimited, but the speaker is asking, please just tell us the essence of all the Vedic knowledge so that we can benefit from it. And explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction their hearts may be fully satisfied. So that's an outcome of spiritual knowledge. When you hear spiritual knowledge and you understand the essence of it, our hearts feel very satisfied. Even though all kinds of stressful situations, problems, and things might be happening, our hearts are satiated by hearing Krishna Katha, in the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Yes, Pradeep Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I want to share one incident
Please.
that happened just an hour ago, and my son's life was saved an hour ago by Krishna.
My God.
A huge old tree in front of our home just fell down, and we just passed by, and it fell down behind our back.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
And उससे आगे ऐसा है कि वो गिर गया पेड़ और सब लोग देख रहे हैं, सब आजू बाजू वाले सब लोग आ गए और सब देख रहे हैं और हमें डर नहीं लग रहा, हम हंस रहे हैं. यानी मेरे सामने मम्मी है और फिर वाइफ है, वो देख रहे हैं हमें कि क्या हो गया, ये अभी जस्ट यहाँ से पास हुआ है और ट्री गिरा है, पर डर नहीं लग रहा. तो हरे कृष्णा.
There is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that says, Padam Padam Vipadam Natesham. Every step there is danger in this material world. But one who's on the boat of Krishna consciousness, Krishna protects them personally. So that's
I
proof.
just experienced that.
Very happy that you're okay and safe. May Krishna always protect you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I think I'm very happy. Sorry, I'm very happy to hear that, what on the other side, Krishna has saved Pradeep, Prabhu and family. Similar incident, Prabhu, to my son as well. It is not the tree. We were just in the car. We were there for 10 minutes, and he was just only listening to the Hare Krishna bhajan actually. Then he just came out of the car, and then the entire that gate, which was around at least around 50 kg, it was just fall on him, but not exactly on him, but it was lying down on him, but onto the car. He was exactly in between.
So the car he fell in between the car and
exactly at 45 degrees, Prabhu. 45 degrees.
My God.
It was just beside. Everyone thought it's gone. Oh, it's just Krishna protected. It is just a 1 year back, Prabhu. I mean, that's how Krishna. Yeah, just yeah, Prabhu.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, these things do build faith.
Exactly.
But
Sure.
there are times when Krishna does test us and accidents do happen. So don't always just, play with fire. Be as safe as you can be. Krishna will do the rest. But sometimes, we are put to test when things, it's not like devotees don't go through sufferings. We do have sufferings also. But right now, Krishna is flirting with you. So he's giving all the good things. Yeah, but I'm happy. Yeah, protection is always there at our level. At least testing is not too much, so we are grateful. When one becomes a pure devotee, testing becomes a little too strong. But I'm happy that you're okay, your son is okay. All blessings upon you, O Sutta Goswami. Oh, sorry. Aparna, do you want to read?
Sure. 1.1.12 Sutta Janasi Bhadram Te Bhagavan Satvatam Patihi Devakyam Vasudevasya Jato Yassa Chikirsaya. Translation. All blessings upon you, O Sutta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva.
All blessings upon you, O Sutta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva. Bhagavan means the Almighty God, who is a controller of all opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. He's a protector of his pure devotees. Even if you're not so pure, he's still protecting us. Although God is equally disposed to everyone, he's especially inclined to his devotees. Sat means the absolute truth. And the person who are servitors of the absolute truth are called Sattvatas. And the personality of God who to protect such pure devotees is known as the protector of the Sattvatas. Bhadram Te, or blessings upon you, indicates the sages' anxiety to know the absolute truth from the speaker. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared to Devaki and the wife of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is a symbol of transcendental position, wherein the appearance of Supreme Lord takes place. So directly we're cutting to the chase that you know about Krishna. Tell us about Krishna. While we are doing this, I want to give somebody the exercise of finding out who is speaking to Sutta Goswami, just as a refresher. Okay, 1.1.13. Aparna.
1.1.13 Tanna susrusamananam arhasi yankanu varnitum yasya vataro bhutanam shemaya cha bhavaya cha. Translation. O Sutta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous acharyas, for one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them.
This is the best kind of question with eagerness one can ask a great sage. Is please tell me about Krishna. O Sutta Goswami, we're eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters or acharyas. For one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them. So we are very fortunate. We are in that position of speaking and hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Pradeep Prabhu and Praveen Prabhu shared how Krishna protected them and their children, right? So like that. Parikshit Maharaj? Parikshit Maharaj's time
But
has not
he
come
hears
yet.
it from
Huh?
But he hears it from Shukadev Goswami, right, Prabhuji?
Right. So right now I'm
Yeah.
asking, who is talking to Suta Goswami at this time? That's the question. Right now, who's
Yeah.
speaking? Suta Goswami. Because Parikshit Maharaj has not come to the scene yet. Okay. So,
Vyasadeva.
sorry,
Vyasadeva?
is that a question or is it an answer?
I have a doubt.
So that's why I said, because we should know who's talking. In Bhagavad Gita, it's very easy. Bhagavadu Vacha, Arjuna Vacha. But here there are layers, right? So somebody speaking to Suta Goswami. We need to find out who. All right. Please explain to us those teachings imparted. So he's been requested. And hence the Bhagavatam is starting. 114, Aparna? 1114, sorry.
1114. Apana samshritam koram yannama vivasso grinam tata sadyo vimuchyata yad vipiti swayam bhayam. Living beings, translation. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified.
Wow, what a statement. Yes, Yogesh Prabhu, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I think this was in a setting at Naimisharanya where
Yes.
Suta Goswami was exchanging or this information with the rishis along in the ashram, I believe, from what I remember at 1.1.3.
You can just read, Prabhu. Yes, you're right. You don't have to remember. It's just right in front of you. Yes. All right. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, unconsciously, which is feared by fear personified. The holy name of Krishna is so powerful that it is feared by fear personified. So there's a personification of fear. Even he is scared of the holy name. And Krishna is scared of who? Mother Yashoda's stick. That's the beauty of being a pure devotee. That fear personified is fearful of the holy name of Krishna. And Krishna is the most, powerful person. And such personality is completely subjugated to the love of Mother Yashoda, to the love of the gopis. The gopis can punish Krishna. Krishna, you have stolen our butter. Now you have to wear female clothes and you have to dance for us. Krishna is punished. Krishna has to dance for the gopis, wearing ghagra, choli, and whatnot, right? So this is how Krishna is treated in Vrindavan. Pretty embarrassing, but that's what the Lord relishes about Vrindavan, that he's not treated like God, right? So fear personified has no place in Vrindavan. His place is Vaikuntha. In front of Lord Narayan, everybody is fearful. Oh, the supreme personality of Godhead. Here he comes in his all opulence. In Goloka, we don't even know he is opulence. He's just our own Krishna. So that's the glory of chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Yat pada samasraya sutaha muneya prashamaya. Aparna, please go ahead. You read.
No worries.
It's embarrassing.
No, you are really reading it very nicely.
Very encouraging.
1.1.15. Yat pada samsraya suta munah prasamayana satyah punanti upasprishta swardhunyapur nusevaya. O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use.
Wow. O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the feet of the Lord. So they're referring to him only because he has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, that he can very easily sanctify those who come in contact with them. By his presence, people can become pure devotees. We saw this with Srila Prabhupada. There'll be there'll be aspiring devotees coming to him, completely drugged up, being hippies and everything. But just coming in contact with Prabhupada, they didn't need therapy. They didn't need any kind of, what do they call those things? Where you go into like drug treatment.
Rehabilitation center.
Rehabs, yeah, they didn't need rehabs or anything. Just by Prabhupada's association, they were able to give up drugs just like that, right? One time, Srila Prabhupada was sitting with his disciples. Well, he's talking to new hippies and all who are new devotees. And there was one person who had just put a LSD on his tongue on the way to meeting Srila Prabhupada because he was addicted. He couldn't help himself. He was feeling a little bad that, oh, I'm going to meet a pure devotee of the Lord. And here I am taking LSD. So there were 7, 8 people sitting in a row, and Srila Prabhupada looked at all of them and then honed down on this particular devotee who took the LSD. And he looked at him and said, LSD is not a very good thing. You can do without it. Something like that he said. And he was shocked that how did Prabhupada know, that I've taken LSD? And from that day onwards, he's like, wow, I have received so much mercy. And just by Prabhupada's statement, it was so impactful on his heart that from that day onwards, he never took LSD again. And he is a practicing devotee. So such is the power of pure devotees, that we might come from whatever backgrounds, whoever we are, but by association of a pure devotee, those negative qualities can very easily be eradicated. I'll give another example. There's a funny story. Another Srila Prabhupada example. So there was a pickpocket who was being punished in jail. He was in jail, and somehow he got hold of Back to God magazine, which is ISKCON's magazine with various devotees writing various things about Krishna consciousness. So in the back of the magazine, as always, there's Prabhupada's picture, and Prabhupada had a gold watch he was wearing. And the pickpocket liked the watch very much. And he started obsessing over the watch, so much so that he decided to meet Prabhupada. So because he was meditating on Prabhupada and meeting him and that watch, he got released from prison by the sukriti of thinking about a pure devotee. And as soon as he was released, he ran to the Mumbai temple. And there, when he went to Juhu temple, the devotee said, hey, Prabhupada just left for Hyderabad. Some devotees from Mumbai are going to Hyderabad. If you want, you can join us. So Prabhupada, so that that pickpocket, he joined the devotees and went to see Srila Prabhupada. As soon as he reached the temple in Hyderabad, there was Srila Prabhupada giving a lecture. He was so attracted to the gold watch that he came running to Prabhupada and he sat down right in the front as Prabhupada was speaking. Prabhupada looked at him, he paused, he took off his gold watch and gave it to this devotee. Like, no one told Prabhupada that this guy is a pickpocket who's after your watch or anything like that. And he was so happy getting Prabhupada's watch. Prabhupada would do that. He would get gifts and all. He would take off one watch, give it to somebody, and then somebody else will gift another watch and he would wear that. There was, he's a detached person. So this pickpocket was transformed by getting Prabhupada's, personal watch. So much so that he started asking the devotees, I want to stay in the temple, I want to serve here. So he was serving in the temple, very nice, everything was good. Imagine his great fortune. One day he is frying samosas in the kitchen, which was in the basement. And there was initiation ceremony happening. So devotees are getting initiated. So this person says, hey, I have never seen a fire sacrifice with initiation and all. I want to see how Srila Prabhupada initiates his disciples. So the head cook in the kitchen said, fine, go see it and come back in 5 minutes. He said, fine. So the pickpocket went up. He got to see Srila Prabhupada is, holding the beads, and he's, giving names and whatnot in the initiation ceremony. You're given chanting beads. Your neck beads are changed from 2 rounds to 3 rounds, right? And there's fire sacrifice, Brahma Samhita chanting, and then you're given a new name, and you become so and so das. So this pickpocket was very excited to see all that. And Srila Prabhupada looked at him and he said, where are your beads? He said, I don't have any beads, Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave his own initiation beads to him. He said, so what Prabhupada had received from his guru, those beads, Srila Prabhupada gave it to the pickpocket. Imagine his great fortune. So he receives the beads directly from Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, sit down. And Prabhupada initiates him. With his own initiation beads, he initiates him. And this person gets a fancy name. And he's like, whoa, what just happened? Like, how come so many people are, waiting for years to get initiated by Prabhupada? And here I am, a pickpocket, just came in and got it. So long story short, he went downstairs to the kitchen. They were like, it took you so long to come back. And he's like, well, Prabhupada initiated me. And they were like, what? Prabhupada initiated you? What's going on? Do they even know that you're a new devotee? Anyway, so he went to Prabhupada that evening and said, Prabhupada, you're so kind that not only did you initiate me, you gave me your own beads. I didn't have beads. I actually came to you because I'm a pickpocket and I steal things and I liked your gold watch very much. And that's what I wanted. But when you gave me the gold watch, I don't know, I felt so attracted to you. I must tell you, I'm a pickpocket and I am doing some menial service in the temple. But being a thief, my main activity, my main energy is at night. So if you ever need any help at night, let me know. I am here for you. So Srila Prabhupada said, oh, yes, I need help at night. At night, from midnight to 4 a.m., I'm translating these Srimad Bhagavatam verses from Sanskrit to English, and I write the purports. I consult a lot of the previous acharyas' translations and their books. So it takes a lot of concentration. But there are these street dogs that are always making noise. I would really appreciate if you can use your time at night to just shoo off the street dogs so that I can focus on translation work. So the thief was very happy. He said, yes, Prabhupada, I will do it. And all night long, as long as Prabhupada was there, he would run around the street, shooing off the street dogs. And years later, on Star Plus, there used to be, Bhagavatam verses being recited by Gauranga Prabhu and this devotee. And years later, he's actually mentioning that, people have contribution in ISKCON for various things. My contribution to ISKCON is that Srila Prabhupada's verses, when he would be translating them, I was the one shooing off the dogs because, I am a former thief who's transformed and my energy is at night, right? So Prabhupada used my thief mentality to engage me at night. While he's translating, I'm shooing off the dogs. So that's the beauty of a pure devotee. And as it is stated in this verse, that somebody who has taken full shelter of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them. So Srila Prabhupada started this Hare Krishna movement with hippies, drug addicts, thieves, drug dealers, right? All kinds of people who were not the most qualified people. In fact, they were the most fallen of all people. They were not the Brahmanas. They were not the Sanskrit scholars. They were not the engineers, doctors, professors. They were who they were. But by coming in contact with Srila Prabhupada, who is directly connected with Lord Krishna, they were able to transform their lives. They were able to become pure devotees of the Lord themselves. Many of them today are governing body members of ISKCON. They have massive preaching programs. Many of them are gurus with thousands of disciples. It doesn't matter who you are. Krishna Bhakti comes from Krishna's Bhakta. So as soon as you are in touch with the pure devotee of the Lord, it is like a contagious disease. right? Krishna consciousness is contagious. It spreads like wildfire. That's the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So that is how Suta Goswami is being glorified. And we should have this mentality towards pure devotees that, wow, by coming in contact with such a great devotee, I can also get diversity and inclusion. Yes, that's what Krishna calls. In fact, Lord Nityananda doesn't care about the qualified people. His eyes always go to the Jagas and Madhais of the world, right? And that's where we have hope in Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga, most of us are Jagai Madhais. I'm not talking about you. I'm speaking for myself, right? Our mentality, our consciousness, where are we? What kind of samskar do we have? But somehow the process is very merciful. And thus, yes, diversity and inclusion. Yes, Aparna, 16, please.
1.1.6 Ko va bhagavattastasya punyashloke daya karmanah shuddhi kamo na shrunuyat yasah kali malapaham. Translation: Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord?
Okay. Next verse. 1.1.17.
Tasya karmani udarani parikhtani shuribhihi bruhina shraddhathananam leelaya dadatah kalah. Translation: His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations.
So we can see the he, a capital H, because it's referring to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And here, Narad Muni, is being glorified because he's one of the purest of devotees, and he's also in this disciplic succession, right? Brahma, Narada, Madhva, Gauriya Sampradaya. So Narad Muni spoke to Vyasadev to write or compile the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Narad Muni is being glorified here, that he sings the glories of the Supreme Lord all the time. Narayan, 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 Narayan. Wherever he goes with his veena, right? He's singing the glories of the Supreme Lord. He's dancing in ecstasy. That's Narad Muni's favorite pastime, is glorifying the Supreme Lord. Sometimes Narad Muni will get other devotees like Lord Shiva and others to glorify the Lord together, right? So that's who Narad Muni is. So the devotees are eager to experience that joy that Narad Muni also experiences, right? So they are like, just like, his transcendental acts and magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sings of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear. So what's the price you pay for learning Krishna consciousness? The price is eagerness. You're not being charged to study. Of course, if you go to different places, some Baba, some Dadiwala person will charge you for a course and all that, Bhagavad Saptaha and this, that. But in generally, devotees, when they're sharing this, there is no charge. But there is a currency that is required. And that currency, I want to know. I want to know about Krishna. That eagerness allows our heart to become a sponge, and thus we can absorb the knowledge and retain it. Yeah, 18th verse.
अथाक यही हरिर धीमन अवतारा कथा सुबह लीला विदधत स्वरम ईश्वरस्यात्मा मायाया. O wise Suta, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations. Such auspicious adventures and pastime of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, are performed by his internal powers.
So the Lord's activities, the wonderful, like Nrsimhadev coming and killing Hiranyakashipu, adventurous activities, or Parashuram's activities, or Matsya Avatar, etc., etc. These activities are performed by his internal powers or internal potency. In other words, Srimati Radharani manifests, right? So she is in charge of Krishna's pleasure potency. So these leelas are fueled by the bhakti potency. So that's what's the internal powers. That's what's being spoken about.
One point 1.19. Bhayam tuna vitripyama uttama shloka vikrami yachrinivatam rasa jnanam swadu sadhu pade pade. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste of transcendental relationships with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment.
Sometimes what happens, we think, oh, I know this pastime. Putana killing, oh, I know this. Vakasura, oh, yes, I know this. Prahlad Narsingha, oh, yes, I know that. Oh, Lord Ramchandra Ramana, oh, I know it by heart, right? But these are not stories like Money Heist or Netflix series. These are the pastimes of the Lord, which are extremely relishable to the devotees. So we can hear it every time, and every time we feel that level of ecstasy. We feel connected to the Supreme Lord, because these are not material stories that become old after hearing a few times. These are transcendental activities of the Lord, which are as attractive as the Lord himself. So that's why the eagerness to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, that Bhagavatam describes all the various avatars of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
1.1.2 Kritavan kila karmani sah ramena keshavah ati martyani bhagavan gudah kapata manushah. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, along with Balarama, played like a human being, and so masked he performed many superhuman acts.
So many people say, oh, Krishna, he was just a glorified human being. You guys have made him into God. So here we are hearing, right? So Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Abhajananti mamudha manusham tanamasruta, that those who think that have taken the human body are mudhas or idiots, stupid people, because Krishna's form is spiritual. We have taken his form. He has not taken the human form, right? And here it is being spoken, Lord Krishna, along with Lord Balaram, played like a human being, right? 2 hands, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. They looked like human beings, but they were not having the earth, water, fire, air, ether kind of bodies. They were having spiritual Satchidananda Vigraha. And that's the difference between God and us. Our body evolves, dwindles, gets old. Krishna's body never gets old. It doesn't go beyond 16 years of age. Why? Because it's spiritual by nature. So masked, he performed many superhuman acts, right? So as in the human form, so Krishna could have killed everyone on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but no, he chose to let Arjun take the credit. He played the role of an advisor, of a mentor, of a guru, right? Who's guiding Arjuna through the process as Arjuna wins the war, so that we can understand Krishna can do anything, but we have our own battle to play. And Krishna will walk us through it, help us through it, but it's us who have to take the plunge, right? So although he can do anything like that, but there is room for us to go through the experience of doing something, achieving something, feeling joy out of it, and experiencing life. That is where reciprocation comes in. We depend on Krishna. My dear Krishna, please help. Krishna comes and helps. We love Krishna. Krishna loves us. There is back and forth, loving relationship, right? Yogesh had a question. Please go ahead, Yogesh.
Prabhuji, just few verses ago, it was mentioned that, even unintentionally, if you listen to or be engaged in these activities, you would be purified, right? And then moving forward, we see that the intentions of all the rishis is that they are eager to know and they are
Yes.
engrossed in the ruchi, right? So, but there have been, I mean, as a human being, there have been times for me when I just want to listen, even unintentionally, just to benefit from whatever is happening, right? So, what can we do to actually increase that eagerness or that ruchi towards listening to such transcendental pastimes?
Just keep listening. The eagerness will come. Because as you're listening, like it said, even unconsciously, if you're sleeping also and listening, you are being purified. As you're being purified, the aversion towards Krishna goes away slowly, slowly. Attraction for Krishna, which is natural to the soul, grows. So you stay with the process, and a natural attraction for Krishna will come out. And then you will be intent, you'll be eager, you will be like an arrow, going straight to Krishna's lotus feet. So stay in the process. But if you are away from the process, then things go wrong. But if you're in the process, you will evolve as you go along, because unconscious or eager, you're getting purified. Intensity is different, so purification rate is different. If you're unconscious, you'll get purified this much. If you're conscious, you'll get purified that much, to the degree you're conscious, to the degree you're eager. But you're getting purified nevertheless.
But Prabhuji, this also brings me to another question. I mean, now that you have mentioned that, the impact that listening to it unconsciously or eagerly, I mean, we have just measured it, right? But if we trace back to the birth of Prahlad Maharaj, he was in his womb and he was unconsciously listening to Srimad Bhagavatam that his mother was listening to, but that had created a huge level of impact in his life. So, how is I mean, it looks like there seems to be a different measure over there, but that I cannot understand.
So he is Prahlad Maharaj, and even though he's an infant, still his intensity of eagerness to hear is perhaps a little bit more than us. B, who's speaking? Narad Muni, purest of pure devotee. So from both sides, the giver of Krishna Katha is highly potent. The receiver of Krishna Katha is highly fertile. So guess what? Krishna Bhakti is bound to happen in an explosive way. So who's speaking and who's receiving, their both qualifications matter. Like, for example, I'm speaking here. The moment I think I am the one giving you gyan, immediately all the mercy gets stuck. As long as I think I am like these glasses, which just is a transparent medium, the speaker is Suta Goswami, Vyasadev, Srila Prabhupada, Narad Muni, right? And I'm simply repeating their words. To the degree I'm transparent, to that degree, you will be able to receive the potency without getting morphed by my ego. Moment I get egoistic, oh, look at me, how much I know about Bhagavatam. Forget it. You will all appreciate, but there'll be no transformation in the heart. So the role of the speaker is that be a transparent medium, be a servant of a servant, be just a messenger, and let the mercy flow through. Don't let your ego come in the middle. And the receiver is, I want to know. I'm eager to know. Krishna, I love you. I want to love you more. And to love you more, I want to know you more. Right? So eager recipient, transparent media, and magic can happen.
Understood, Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay. Did we read this?
1.1. No.
Okay.
Yeah. 1.1.21. Kalim agatam agnaya shetresmin vaishnavi vayam asina dirgha satrina kathayam saksana hari. Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in his holy place to hear at great length the transcendental message of Godhead and in this way perform sacrifice.
Okay. Next.
One point 1.22. Tvam naha sandarsito dhatra dushtaram nishtirit satam kalim sattvaharam pamsham karnadhara ivarnabam. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being.
Kali. Okay. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as a captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being. So Kali Yuga has started. These rishis have come to a holy place in Naimisharanya, wanting to do 1,000-year sacrifice to benefit the Kali Yuga people. So because dark times, Manda Sumanda Mateo, bad, everything is unfortunate. So that's what their intention is. And they've fortunately met with Suta Goswami, who is a great sage, and hearing from him will help them. So they're accepting him as it's kind of when you have an event, you have the chief guest. So they're honoring him as the chief guest, as the captain of the ship.
1.1.23. Bruhi Yogeshwari Krishne Brahmani Dharmavarmani Swam Kashtam Adhunnapati Dharmaha Kam Sharanam Gataha. Since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter.
So Kali Yuga started by the departure of Krishna, marked the beginning of Kali Yuga. So since Sri Krishna has left, the sages are asking that now religious principles are held by who? Who is our shelter? Where do we stand? So that's what ends this particular chapter. First chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam completed. So the purport: essentially, religion is the prescribed codes enunciation by personality of God himself. Dharmanta Sakshat Bhagavat Pranita. So Prabhupada is just repeating Srimad Bhagavatam verse here. That what is religion? Religion is something that is prescribed codes enunciated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever there is gross misuse or neglect of the principles of religion, the Supreme Lord appears himself to restore religious principles. Dharma samsthapanarthana sambhavami yuge yuge. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. So Prabhupada's purports are not made up statements. They're all basically verses from great scriptures, right? This is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Here are sages of Naimisharanya. Here, the sages of Naimisharanya are inquiring about these principles. The reply to this question is given later. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a transcendental sound representation of the personality of Godhead, and thus it is a full representation of transcendental knowledge and religious principles. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports for the first canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Questions by the Sages. So next Friday, we will discuss the answer by Suta Goswami. Thank you very much, Aparna, for reading, and thank you all for very carefully listening. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. See you next Friday.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.